I think you guys annihilated the Geth in your home world. I think you killed them. I think you destroyed them in your world. If I remember.
I couldn't remember if we actually covered.
Yeah.
I remember we got the world back, but I don't think we covered it.
Yeah. So in this universe, your homeworld, you got your homeworld back, but instead of annihilating the Geth, the elusive man gained control of them. And now his personal law enforcement, basically.
Well,
So no Legion.
I'm sorry?
No Legion. No smart.
I'm not going to.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything about that since your characters wouldn't know that, and I don't want to divulge anything.
Sure. All right.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, so.
So I wonder then if the Geth here are very anti-Quarian as well then.
Most likely.
Great.
But they don't have a voice anymore, so they speak through elusive men.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
They might be more likely. They might be more likely to rat out a Quarian though than human.
Maybe. Never mind. We are. But the fact of the matter is, we're stuck here and we can't get back, so we'll just have to trust the other guys.
Yeah.
That Nihar and her squad isn't dead, and that they can supply the vault.
When was the last time you had contact with them? Just out of curiosity. And where was the last time you saw them? Where was the last place you saw them?
Last time we had contact from them was a week before this, before we set out, and on the same planet that.
Really? How curious. He starts rubbing his chin. Because approximately a week ago was when I noticed that a hole here had appeared. That is why I was on that planet, because I thought that since such a hole had opened up, it was the perfect opportunity and place for me to test the device.
So they could be here.
I'm just saying it would be a very interesting coincidence if it wasn't the case.
Where was the hole? On the Citadel or on the planet?
On the planet itself. That's why I was there trying to test out my device, trying to see if I could gain access to the hole, and lo and behold, you guys came in.
Same spot?
Same spot.
So they might be here.
And maybe they don't even know.
Or it could be different.
So getting those CSEC files might be handy because they might have any news on, worst case scenario, any new prisoners.
I suppose we'll have to be hopeful. I personally did not see anyone else on the planet when I landed. So they might have gotten off of the planet a week ago? Hard to say, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So there is absolutely no one else on the planet that you were on Ghana.
Other than the various animals and native inhabitants of the planet, native creature inhabitants on the planet.
No husk, no higher races.
No. Morden shakes his head.
Have you been in contact with any hijack that are suspiciously smart?
As soon as you say that, one of the hijack jumps up on Lun's shoulder. And he puffs up his chest, like saying, "That's right, she's talking about me."
Like our friend Skywalker here.
That's not his name.
Deny it all you want.
Skywalker, Morden says, is that some sort of reference?
I guess you aliens wouldn't get
Humans
it.
are odd.
This ancient movie. Yeah.
Aya's like, now that was a good movie. That is a movie worth seeing over and over again. This is probably what she's thinking.
I'm like that piece of shit. Floating flotilla. Ooh.
Even back then, the graphics and cinematography was better than that Fleet and Flotilla CGI or whatever it is that they used.
Fleet and Flotilla looks like it was was filmed by a grandpa with his handcuffs.
Are we saying this out loud, or
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
just because I want to know if Darren's a fan to the movie or not?
Yeah.
She might be. She's muttering it under her breath, like out loud, but not loud.
So what does
Yeah.
Morton say?
Morden looks very confused. He doesn't get the reference. Apparently, he hasn't been watching enough movies, old movies.
No, I mean for the like hijacks like this.
He says, "You mean your biotic friend? It's quite common for the creatures on that planet to possess biotic abilities because of all of the element zero that's in the atmosphere."
But he appears to understand our, at least our implications of what we're saying, if not the exact words. Have they become more intelligent over the years?
Unfortunately, he says, my specialty is not in biology or evolution, so I wouldn't be able to give you expert information on that. Although it sounds like the Morden on your universe might be more well-equipped in that kind of stuff, considering how he was more into medical and biological sciences.
About that, what happened with the Krogan here, the genophage and all that stuff?
Morden will tell you the genophage here was addressed but not cured. But it was addressed.
What do you mean address?
Are you telling me he killed off the Krogan?
No, he did not kill the Krogan. Quite the opposite, he says. The elusive man cut a deal with the Krogan leaders. I'm thinking in order to get in good with them, a little bit of leverage. Cerberus has been at least known within our lines as possessing the secrets of cloning. They were able to help repopulate the Krogans by essentially cloning the fertile females.
That's good,
Who
right?
was the Krogan leader?
Reeve. Apparently he agreed, and since then the Krogan have been essentially the president, the elusive man, has been for the most part on the good side of the Krogan, and that can be very dangerous.
At least they're not extinct, so that's, a good thing for them.
My personal opinion, he says, the genophage was made for a reason, and I think that they are meddling with things that they do not fully understand the full consequences of.
Well, yeah, but you could say the same thing about doing the genophage in the first place. They were meddling with things they didn't understand the consequences of.
Please let's not fight here.
I'm sorry, but who makes the decision that, these guys are inconvenient, so we're going to...
Darren.
It was a necessary evil, Morden says. He seems pretty adamant about this.
You can't weigh up a life and say, you know what, we're just going to kill these people. No one's more important than anyone else.
The genophage was not meant to kill anyone. The genophage was just meant to prevent.
Meant to make a species go extinct, I'm pretty sure.
Shut up! Hush! This is not the place!
Thank you, Aya.
My apologies,
First of all,
Morden says.
Darren, I agree with you, but shut up. This is not the place. Besides, even if Morden knew how to do stuff about that, he wouldn't do it, or either he couldn't. In any case, we're at a place where bad things are happening.
Bad things are happening everywhere.
Let's not dive into personal beliefs because we'll be here all day if we start going into that.
When you guys were having the genophage argument, Otto is sort of looking down on the ground, not saying anything, remaining very silent during the Krogan argument.
I'm sorry, man. I got a bit worked up there. And he'll sort of pat Otto on the shoulder awkwardly.
Otto says, understandably, you are forgiven. I was not raised by Krogan. Still, I'm very sympathetic to our people's plight, none of the less.
I know, man.
Way to go, bro, Trissy says, as she cuts the awkward silence.
Either way, how far have we got until we hit the Citadel?
Darren, what does it say about
Darren,
that?
you look at the coordinates, and you believe that you'll get to the Citadel by that afternoon, mid-afternoon.
A few hours will be by the afternoon. So plenty of time for more political debates.
Oh no!
Nilo says, so what you're saying is when we get down to the Citadel, all of us need to be waving our elusive man flags, so to speak?
No,
I still don't
just
think it's a
us.
good
The
idea to
humans
fly
are
in there.
Fine, apparently.
I'm not sure it's a good idea to fly in there on a ship that's known to not exist anymore.
Well, I've got a plan for this, okay? We'll get some cool flame decals and we'll completely repaint the ship. They won't recognize it. It'll be great.
No.
Yeah.
You're going to repaint this historical ship.
I'm against that idea.
Honestly, the Normandy will be so much better
Do you
without
have
racing front.
Do you have a pin-up of
Pardon?
Darren? Do you have a pin-up of any hot ladies or something? Because then we can do it.
We
Oh
can
my
definitely.
God.
Well,
How?
we're doing this for disguise reasons, you know?
Is not some way to just change the registration on it? Just say it's got a new name.
I'm pretty
have
sure
two ships.
that this
Fine.
ship is a one of a kind. So
Plus that'd be pretty boring, so.
We have 2 ships.
we do. Oh yeah, Morden, your ship. Can it hold the 4 of us leaving these 3? I will point to Otto, Nilu, and Trissy on this ship in close orbit of the Citadel.
Yes.
Far enough away to not be seen, but close enough to easily be reached.
Yes, that should be enough for transport, yes.
There we
Good.
go.
Yes,
We don't have to
because-
graffiti the ship then.
This is
Yeah.
a stealth reconnaissance vehicle, after all.
Yeah, as long as we don't get seen. If they look out of the window, they will see us plain as day.
Nilu says, as long as we keep ourselves from a good distance from the Citadel, we can simply remain stealth away from its normal view, while you take the ship over to the Citadel proper.
Do
I will
that.
stay on board. The 3 of you.
Nilo, I want you to stay on board here. Make sure that the ship keeps running, and I want you to know that if I signal you and that everything has gone to shit, you get the fuck out of here.
I also, she says, am working on the drives of the ship that controls the airstrike as well.
Sweet.
Just in case anything completely dire happens. Although, Morden will pipe up and say, we should probably make sure that we do that as a worst case desperate scenario. Doing an airstrike on the Citadel itself, a lot of innocents will probably cause a lot of casualties of innocent people.
I don't think this ship is powerful enough to do much damage to the Citadel, though. But yes, good idea. Make sure that everything necessarily works in the worst case scenario, but still be prepared to just take this ship and leave.
Nilu says, just trying to be as useful as I can be, Captain.
Yes, but still, if I tell you to leave, you do not stick around and try to be heroic, you leave.
I understand, Nilu says. Crystal is raising her hand, I think.
So out of character, will you allow the group to be separated? The PCs to be separated?
If you guys want to.
I was about
If you guys
to...
want to, you can.
Crystal wants to stay on board. She wants to stay on the ship.
You sure you want to stay on the ship, Doc?
I mean, the
Yes.
problem is if you stay on the ship, you probably will not appear for the rest of this session.
No problem.
But so I guess what I'm saying is I'm not going to tell you to stay on the ship, but as a game master, I will probably encourage you to go with just because it'll be more interesting, in my opinion, for you to be able to participate with whatever happens on the Citadel. But I'm not going to force you.
Chen,
not.
you'll come with us. It's an order. Captain's orders.
Out of character, can Nilu fly the ship? Who's the most capable of flying the ship?
Wasn't Otto kind of a
pieces.
pilot as well?
Otto is kind of a pilot as well. You think that
Really?
he's more of a... Otto's specialty is with gunnery. His specialty is using the guns on the ship.
But he can to a degree fly it, I guess, if he had to.
The Nilu, however, also is able to use the autopilot. So at minimum, they can use the autopilot to leave Citadel space at least.
Okay. Otto, how much do you know about flying?
Otto will say, humbly, I know enough to handle basic maneuvers of the ship. But if we are caught in an asteroid field, do not expect much out of me. So basically, he knows how to drive forward, backward, and brake. He knows how to drive, brake, and yes, move left and right.
Okay.
That's fine.
Fly in a circle.
But yeah, he's not going to make any evasive maneuvers or anything like that. That's just not out of his...
That's good enough. Just
Okay.
familiarize yourself with how to put the game, the ship into hyperspace.
So basically, no rescue mission. We are stuck on the Citadel if we can't get off.
Okay, Matt. After we've finished our group meeting, I'm going to talk to Tracy about something, and then I'll basically give you the pointers of how to do stuff, okay?
Okay, so you're going to go talk to Trissy now?
After the meeting, then he's...
Okay.
Okay.
On the
Is there
way.
anything else happening at the meeting then?
Let's see. When we come to the Citadel, what kind of security measures are there? Like how, do they have scanners of people and such?
He says, we have members of our group that will allow us to get past security fairly easily once we land in the Citadel. That should be no problem at all. As far as security goes, CSEC officers are still in full force. However, most of them are now human.
Great,
Okay.
so I'll just smile and wave. It's fine.
Yeah, Loon. If only you hadn't destroyed the Geth, maybe you would be walking around without a mask right now.
I didn't personally destroy the Geth, I was living on the Citadel.
If you can take your mask off, I could probably disguise you, but the mask's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, I'd kind of die.
There are Quarians,
Yes.
like I said. There are non-human races in the Citadel, as I said.
Don't worry, I can wave. Technically, they can't tell if I'm smiling or not.
We'll draw a smiley face on you, we'll get a marker. You got it.
Yeah. I think I have a permanent marker somewhere.
You are not drawing on my mask.
Lucas
See,
is
even
pointing
Lucas
towards
thinks it's a good
himself.
Just smile and wave, okay? Like,
I'm pretty sure he was agreeing it's a good idea, so
no, he was asking if he had to smile.
we'll have a group vote, okay? So, me, Lucas. Who else thinks we should draw a smiley face on? Lynn? No? Oh, okay then.
Wop, wop, Trissy says.
Hey, I don't see you coming up with any ideas.
I think Loon, Trissy says, to be fair, I think Loon is just fine the way he is.
Thank you.
Gay.
I still think we should try and figure out what we can do. Like, maybe, Morden, are you good with making communication stuffs, like, fast? Because then maybe you could, set up a communication links between, the communicator in here and then some form of communication down on in your base.
I think between myself and Nilu, we should be able to whip something up.
I mean, I have an Omnitor, if that helps.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of helps, but I'm more like setting up a permanent comm link between us and the base.
On a separate channel, you mean, Nilu says.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to come up with something by the time we arrive.
Good. That way, that'll make communication between everything much easier.
Are you asking Nilu to try to have communicators between your group, like between you and the ship, or amongst each other? Like amongst each
Maybe
other.
amongst each other would be the smartest idea in case we get separated for some reason.
Okay.
Both.
That's it.
Like between us and the ship, like between each other.
Okay.
I mean, I can help with modding stuff if it needs.
And
be.
also like setting up a comlink between the rebel, like the resistance and our ship.
That sounds fine. By the time you guys... Well, we'll get to that. Are you guys done with the meeting after telling Nilu to do that?
Yeah. Meeting is adjourned.
Darren, you go approach Trissy, I think?
Yes, he's going to pull out his pistol and chuck it to her.
So, Trissy says as you approach her, she says, I'm coming with as well, right? Right?
You'll have to argue that one with Aya. I'm going to teach you to shoot anyways.
I didn't say anything when she told all three of us to stay on the ship, but I thought it's the Citadel. You know how long it's been since we've seen civilization?
Okay, yes, I'll have that argument with Tirza, but right now.
Let's go talk to her then.
So you can probably tell from Darren's demeanor that he wants to talk to her. Whether she'll actually amend her behavior or not because of that is...
All right. Okay, so she says you have something else you wanted to talk about. What is it?
So he's going to lead you somewhere that he can teach you to shoot and to talk to her at the same time.
Okay.
Is there anyone on the ship that they could do that without killing everyone horrifically?
You're trying to teach her how to shoot?
Yeah.
In the ship? I don't know if there's no range. There's no shooting range on the ship. I don't know if there's a way for you to do that.
Nothing we could use as an impromptu shooting range?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind.
Not unless you want to start firing holes in the Normandy, but...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other characters would.
I think there would be a problem with that, I guess. But I guess technically it's your ship, so you guys can do whatever you want to it, but...
Is there a planet to drop down quickly?
I mean, if you want, I guess if you
mind.
want to take her to target practice, you can take a detour on some planet and just start shooting.
Nah, he doesn't do that then. I was hoping there's something he could use, but never mind. So yeah, he's going to drag her off to talk to her here. Somewhere private.
Trissy will go up to Aya. So, Captain, she says with a smile.
No.
I didn't even ask the question yet.
You want to go down to the Citadel? And the answer is no.
She couldn't hit. Another pair of hands
It's just been so long, she said, since I've seen Civilization. That and the only movie here is Floating Flotilla. Do you really want me to suffer that more? When there is a plethora of movies down in the Citadel that I think would help with my sanity. You can relate.
Well, it was your brother who kept doing the Floating Flotilla stuff, so...
She's an expert shopper, you'll want you on hand when you're looking.
Is there nothing that I can do to convince you otherwise? I'm going to be stuck on this ship for who knows how long you guys are going to be down there. What exactly do you expect me to do over here? Nilu has work to do, Otto has work to do, and I'm pretty much stuck cleaning your toilets. It's not a very
Well,
good
they
thing.
are pretty dirty, so...
In more ways than one.
Don't be power hungry, Aya.
I'm not being power hungry. I'm just
Yes,
making
you
sure
are.
that your sister doesn't go down and get herself shot in the face.
I'll make sure she doesn't get shot in the face. Can you shoot me in the face instead? Fine. If I thought she'd get in trouble, I wouldn't agree.
Okay, Trissy says, obviously I'm making problems. So, Captain, it's your call. Whatever, if you don't want to change your mind, that's fine. But I at
Stay
least want...
out of trouble.
Trissy says, thank you,
And
Captain.
no running around and being all squeaky and shit, because who knows how bad it is down there.
Aye, aye, she says. You will hardly even know I'm there.
Then they are missing
Okay.
a
Darren,
medic on board.
Darren,
Yeah.
yeah, keep an eye on her.
They're
Of
missing
course.
a medic on board. What happens when they're...
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
For now, they'll be fine. I think.
Captain made it her mind. Too late.
Anyways, family bonding time, come on.
Captain
No.
can still change her mind.
Very true. I think I will go ahead and tidy up and dust your room, Captain. Fluff a few pillows. Is there anything else that I can do for you, ma'am? She says with a smile.
Don't ask her that; she'll take advantage.
Uh,
Well, at least I have a little bit more respect for her than I do for you.
Well,
well, that doesn't say much because no one has any respect for Darren.
wow.
I'm trying to give him a compliment, Captain.
How? How is that
Wait.
a compliment?
I'm going to stay out of your little sibling squirrels.
But yes. Go on, family bonding time. And he's gonna drag her off somewhere quiet. Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me because I'm a bit all over the place at the moment.
What's on your mind, bro?
He said that people who are dead in our universe could be alive here. He could be alive here. And she'll know who he's talking about.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know what to do with that information. Like, it's not him, but he's alive. I mean, I could go see him right now. Possibly. I mean, but then...
You still think about him, don't you? She says in a very serious tone.
I was, I guess, trying to forget about it, but I don't know, it's hard. I mean, you don't just forget about something like that.
Do you mind me asking? Tibbs, she says, what happened to him? You haven't really given much details about it. You never really gave me much details about what happened to him.
We're doing a job for Charles. It wasn't anything big or major, or it was supposed to be just a run-of-the-mill job. You remember Bambi, that massive dude, bald head, looked like he'd been hit in the face with a shovel. Remember that dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your friends were definitely quite a colorful bunch, I have to say.
Someone walked in on us and he panicked. He grabbed them, and unfortunately we'd been discovered. And the shootout afterwards, well, I was the only one who got away. I should have done something, and I'm sorry. And he punches a wall.
Trissy has a very thoughtful look on her face, and she gets up to you and she kind of puts her hand gently onto your shoulder. It's not your fault, bro.
I know, but I just want to see him, and he's dead. I mean, if I go and and seek this guy out, it's not Tibbs. It's not the same guy. It's like I'm just trying to replace him, and that's not fair because he didn't deserve to die. He shouldn't have died. I mean, that's literally what I was there for, was to make sure they didn't get into trouble. I mean,
Darren, I think the last time we talked about this, you said that you wished it was you and not him.
if he hadn't taken that shot, I wouldn't have gotten away. I mean, it should have been me. I mean, he was there because he didn't have a choice. I was there because I made stupid ass decisions. I mean, he could have done so much, and you don't appreciate it until it's gone, you know? He's looking a bit misty-eyed. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be dumping all of this on you. It's just I just don't know what to do.
It's okay, Trissy says, and she goes up to you and she wraps her arms around you and gives you a very deep hug.
Hey, we got through a conversation and you didn't insult me.
She says, give me another 5 minutes.
Thanks for this.
So, she after the hug, she pulls away carefully and she says, so that's one of the major reasons why you want to go to the CSEC archives, to see if you could look him up and see if he even exists here or is still alive?
I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to do that, and then part of me just wants to bang my head in the sand and pretend it's not happening, because I mean, he could be out there, he could have his own Darren, I could just mess everything up for him. I mean, if it wasn't for me, maybe he'd still be alive. If I get involved with him again, well, it just makes things worse for him. He deserves to be happy.
I'd admit, she says, while I was not a big fan of Charles, Tibbs was... he was cool. He was a good guy. And I know you guys were best friends, and I know that
We were more than friends.
he meant a lot to you. You were... I'm sorry?
We were more than friends, you know that.
Yeah. I know. Guess that didn't surprise me too much.
I don't know. Well,
If we do find him in the computer system, what do you want to do? You want to actually go and look for him?
maybe.
Do you think I is going to want us to do that? With everything else that might be on our list once Morden, Dr. Solus gets, I guess, the machine working properly, safely?
I don't care what Arya wants us to do. If I want to do it, I'll do it. It's just... I don't know.
Well, when it comes down to it, if you decide to go after him instead of sticking with the group, would you do that? To look for him?
I don't know. He actually takes off his goggles and he's sort of like holding them, looking at them, and I just don't know.
Well, if you do decide to break off, I'll come with.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, I know I don't have to do that. It would get a little boring if I didn't have somebody to, I guess, make fun of, give a hard time around the ship.
Yeah, you can't really do that with Lun. He gets that hurt puppy look.
Lun's sweet.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Thanks for this. It means a lot.
Of course.
But anyway, someone needs to fly the ship. So Dan will get to his feet and leave and end the scene.
That was very sweet. I like that scene. That was very sweet.
Yeah.
You guys finally managed... I'm sorry, was Crystal about to do something? Is Crystal about to do something that I need to know of?
Well, I was clapping for Alex.
Yes.
But also...
Good job, Alex.
Thank you.
Yeah, she wants to have like one last round through the ship. Just
Okay.
saying goodbye to the ship.
Crystal, I'm going to give... Go ahead.
And once, like, if she goes by the engine room and seeing all the math, all the
Yes.
theoretical schematics on the walls or something, she's gonna take notes. Gonna put all of that information in the datapad or the army.
Very nice. Okay, that's fine. Crystal Chen, I'm going to give you a Paragon point since you were very adamant about staying on the ship, because you felt it was in character for you to do that. So I'm giving you a Paragon point for that.
Thanks.
Aya, I'm also going to give you... Did I give you a renegade or paragon point in the last session for taking one for the team and being unconscious for half the session? Did I give you something like that?
Absolutely not.
All right. You get a. I guess you could argue whether that's paragon or renegade. It's your choice. However you want to.
I will-
At the end of the day, it's the same thing mechanically, but you get a paragon or renegade point of your choice.
She gets
For
a
doing
renegade point then.
She can get a renegade point. If anyone else thinks that somebody deserves a paragon or renegade point for any reason, either this session or the previous session, let me know.
Alex
'cause
for
I
a
don't.
A+ role playing.
All right, Alex, you get a paragon point for that.
Okay. Technically being selfish, kind of. Maybe as
It would be more renegade than paragon.
I would say renegade. You can get a renegade for that.
Okay, sweet.
Jeff wanted to give Alex a 1 point for last session's, like single-handedly tanking
Oh yes.
all the major.
Yes. No, definitely. I agree with that. I would say that's a paragon
Yeah.
for defending your group, defending your team. I would say that's a paragon.
But
Okay.
did he actually get kills though?
I
He prevented other people from dying.
I only had one less kill than you. If we don't count the kills you just got given at the start.
Yeah, you are alive. I mean, Aya is alive because Darren held off the big
Yes.
hulking
Well,
Darren.
yeah.
That's a
Maybe,
kill steal.
yeah.
Terrible.
Okay. If you guys think of any other reasons to give somebody a paragon or renegade point, let me know, because I may not always be thinking about that the entire session. So just call that out. You guys arrive at the Citadel, and so you basically get on board Morden's smaller ship. I guess it's it's a ship that either you guys had within the Norbindi itself, or whatever the space equivalent of towing is. You might have been towing the ship, or maybe it was attached to the ship somehow.
If it was small enough, if it was the size of maybe a Kodiak, it could easily fit inside the
Yeah.
Normandy.
Yeah, I would say it would be that size, and it can still fit. It would be a little bit of a squeeze to fit the 6 of you in, but it can hold the 6 of you. So you guys get onto Morden's smaller ship, and you dock in the main dock area of the Citadel. You guys go through CSEC security. There appears to be most of the like I said, the CSEC force are humans, but there are still other races, mostly Turians. One of the Turians, allows you all in. Morden sort of gives him a wave as you go through security, and you're able to get through without any problems. When you guys arrive into the Citadel, it looks quite different from the Citadel that many of you have been accustomed to do. So there's definitely a lot of Cerberus pride. The lots of Cerberus propaganda and Cerberus pride in the Citadel. There is still a good mix of humans and non-humans here, but it's very clear that the people in the Citadel are living a fairly luxurious life, and it seems like both the non-humans and the humans alike here are appreciating their time of peace, and the general idea is they're appreciative of the elusive man and everything he's done, and because of the funding that he has been putting into the Citadel, everybody here is happy and they're living luxurious lives, and there's like movies and there's like concerts and all these other boosting morale things that are going on. You see flyers all over the place of the next show that's going to be taking place on the Citadel, and there's flyers about this one of the most popular celebrity singer in the galaxy to date, Rain, winner of the Citadel's Got Talent competition.
By the way, she won this after we were in the vault, correct?
Say that again?
From our perspective, she would have won this after we were in the vault already. Yes?
Correct.
So
She already did.
we don't really have a clue who she is unless we saw her like on the indie circuit or whatever prior.
Yes, I don't think you would know who she was. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
But she seems to be very popular amongst the citizens here. You see posters for a reboot. Gasp! A reboot of Blasto, of the original Blasto movie. So that's interesting. Trissy looks at the poster and she says, "Oh gosh, Darren, we need to see that movie. I love Blasto."
I will just stare at her like with this very disappointed look in her eyes.
Yes. Yes.
What? Don't tell me you hate Blasto too. She says at Aya.
She will not answer. She just
I just hate.
keep this very disappointed look.
Yes, Aya just hates good movies. Ignore her.
What movies do you like, Aya? She asks.
Oh. Well, something that is at least certain. You are going movie shopping, and we have a list for you. Let's see. First of all, you need to get, most importantly, this movie that is at the top of the list. She will show a list, like, kind of hide it away from the, like, point away. We need to get this so that we can get him to watch it so that he can finally become an adult.
And what do you show her? I don't know what the movie is.
Venya, of course.
Venya? Okay. Okay. So she says, "All right, I think this is going to be fun, movie shopping."
Before she leaves, or
Also,
Darren's going...
Trissy, try to
Yes, Captain.
get as much information as you can without being obvious about this world, about what has been
I think
happening.
it looks to me like as a human, I should be well equipped to do that.
Exactly.
By the way, Darren's going to steal the list off of here and add a bunch of terrible romance movies. Absolutely awful. But he generally seems to like them, so just really bad movies. But he adds them all to the list.
She looks at the list and she
1984
looks at you, and she looks at the list,
Supergirl movie.
and she looks over it back at you and she
Twilight,
says, "Really?" She says, "Really, Darren? Really?"
Clearly, on the top of the list, still has to be like, Titanic, Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
I just said really bad one. So Twilight,
Twilight.
50 Shades
oh,
of
gosh.
Grey.
Oh,
he has some standards. Sheesh. But yeah, just
No,
really
he
bad.
doesn't.
I need to. He has some.
I will have added a bunch of superhero movies.
Okay.
Marvel Cinematic Universe, here we go. We need that.
If they weren't there, he possibly would have added those as well. He likes all genres, but he has a soft spot for romance movies.
Where does money come from? We didn't have any credits.
Well, presumably we
I
had
think-
what we had prior to entering the vaults, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had none. Or
Well-
did you have some?
I have some left over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darren has some left over.
I would also have.
Movies doesn't
Funds.
cost too much.
Maybe there was a
Yeah.
secret vault movie fund.
I mean, out of character, we went in with. I went in with 0.
Do you have an
I
Omni
don't
tool? Do you have an Omni tool, or just like similar? Because like it would be like your credit sheet is attached to your person.
That's true.
So like
I have
if
250 left, so.
and I don't remember how much I have left after doing shopping, but there I still have some left, I think.
Yeah. I think you guys actually did have money left over after you did your shopping, so technically, you guys can still have that credit in your credit sheet, technically.
I had none. Yeah.
You had none, but I think several people did.
Okay. That's
We'll
fine.
say that you give Chrissy, how much credits does Darren have left?
250.
Darren have left
Sorry,
after
1
shop-
minute.
250? Oh, that's enough. You can give her like 100 credits and she can easily get what's on the list.
Okay,
Easily.
I will mark that on my character sheet. 150.
Okay.
Well,
Especially since most of those movies are older movies, so she could probably get them for really cheap.
Oh, he's probably
Like
put,
bargain bin
he's
movies.
probably put some more modern ones on there as well, but I imagine most of Darren's
Okay.
movies are bargain bin movies. So
She will tell you, I'll make the credits count. I'll do what I can and make the credits count.
Okay, sweet.
Best 100 credits you've ever spent in the last 3 years. Better library of movies.
That Darren is, yeah, pleased with this bid.
Now you have accomplished your life's goal.
Yes.
Providing much better entertainment back at the vault.
Yeah, better.
Crystal looks like she's about to ask something.
Yeah, she wants to pull Tracy aside when the others are done with their list assignment. Just ask her if Darren had shown her how to defend herself.
Well, that didn't actually happen, so...
What did you say, Darren?
That didn't actually end up happening, so...
Yeah, that didn't happen. That ended up not happening because they didn't have a place to shoot.
What about just hand to hand?
It was literally the conversation, then he left to teach Otto piloting stuff, so... And I can't imagine he taught her stuff in the vault, although he spent a lot of time doing it himself. To teach her to do it is almost like admission that she might need it. As weird as that sounds, he'd rather not teach her and think that she doesn't need it than teach her and think she does, if that makes sense. He'd rather pretend that she's not at a risk, so she doesn't need to know how to fight.
Do you know how to defend yourself?
I took jiu-jitsu when I was... I took jiu-jitsu for a number of years. That's when Lucas makes a noise, makes a squeak.
Crystal tests her. Maybe.
All right, roll. I guess brawling. Brawling versus her brawling. Okay.
13.
So she got an 11 from her brawl. So basically, you were able to. You tried to test her. You probably held back a little bit just because you were just testing her, but she seems to know a decent amount to be able to defend herself from the average assailant. The average assailant, at least.
And are you equipped with medikit, just in case?
Got it here in my bag, she says as she pats it.
Do you need any more Medigel?
I think I was able to get a good amount from the med bay. And she also opens up her I guess bag/purse, and she basically shows you a small pistol.
That's the one Darren gave her, yes?
Yeah, the one that Darren gave her.
Okay, I'll remove that from my character sheet.
Yeah.
Incidentally, it's the striker, which is the cheapest pistol, I believe.
So Aya, before Trissy goes, they were able to Nilu and between Nilu and Morden, they were able to make communications directly from you to the ship, as well as 2 communicators that you can give to each other. They were trying to make more but didn't have the time, but they're going to continue to make more so that all of you eventually will have a communicator apiece, but right now you only have 2.
Before Trish leaves, I will hand her one, so that if you get in trouble, you can contact us here.
I'll let you know.
And then the other, I think she would give to Lun, because Lun is the little weak guy, so if he ever needs...
Okay. So both Trissy and Lun will be able to communicate to you, Aya. You basically you'll have, I guess, the master, I guess. The master communicator, because that's the communicator that lets you talk directly to the ship, and Trissy and Lun.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
They are going to try to make at least 2 more. But that will probably take a little bit more time. 1 for Darren, 1 for Crystal, if you decide to give 1 to Crystal. Okay.
Yeah, so Crystal just tell Trissy to stay safe.
I will keep out of trouble.
You better.
Between me and Darren, I think he's the one that you have to look out for.
Oh, I don't doubt that, but you are, after all, related to him, so who knows what kind of stuff you might get into.
Really, she's the bad influence. You know, I was such a good child, and then she came along, and
Ha! Right.
Yeah, for that
Right.
for that 1 year, I was such a good baby.
Yeah.
Fact.
I'm inclined to believe you, Darren. I'm inclined to believe you.
See, must be true.
He saved our lives back on the planet. I trust him to be able to handle himself.
Honestly, I just saw a massive thing. They're gonna charge it. Usually, it's
Well, you didn't say that, so.
yeah. You guys
Trissy will
think
then.
it's fine.
Trissy will branch off and leave, and you will follow Morden through the Citadel. You'll pass by, like, I guess the equivalent of Times Square, the Citadel-like Times Square, and there's like monitors all over the place, and you see that there currently is a newscast going on about various things going around the world, and it pretty much confirms a lot of what Morden told you about the conditions of the different homeworlds. And he will then take you to the shopping district of the Citadel, and you will go to what appears to be a game store, a gaming store. The Morden will take you over to the front of the game store where the manager is, and the manager is a Hanar. And Morden will say, "Charlie, good to see you." And Morden will turn to the group and say, "This is Charlie Renat," he says, pointing at the Hanar. Those of you who have seen the one of the main squad sessions, you know who Charlie Renat is. "This one is pleased to meet you," the Hanar says. "Dr. Solis, I believe that this one believes that you would like to check out the special gaming systems in the back." "Absolutely," Solis says. "I very much am interested in trying to find out a new replacement for one of my consoles." "Follow this one," he says.
That's why all the nerds can come and go without anyone getting suspicious. I see.
Morden smiles as the Hanar leads you over to the back room. And in the back room, you see various games and consoles, but then the Hanar goes into through a door which sort of looks like a broom closet of sorts. And when you go into the broom closet, he shuts the door. The Hanar opens up a hidden panel in one of the walls, pushes a few buttons, and the entire broom closet starts to lower like an elevator.
How fast?
Not too fast.
Okay.
Like regular elevator speed, I guess.
Okay.
I will pat Lund and say it'll be all right.
So is it like one of the elevators from the game?
Yes, it's one of the elevators from the game, I guess.
I was just wondering if it's gonna literally drop. If it dropped, and be like,
No. No. The elevator doors open up, and you guys enter in what appears to be the entrance into some sort of an underground community, / base. There are a few people on guard as you guys come in, and when you guys arrive, Morden gives his credentials, and one of the Turian there, looks at the group, and then he points the gun towards Crystal Chen's direction. And the Turian immediately asks, "What is she doing here?"
As soon as he brings the gun up, Darren sort of half steps in between the two.
I will also step in, like...
Dr. Morden Solis asks, I beg your pardon, is there a problem?" "Dr. Solis," he says, "do you realize who this woman is?" Dr. Solis asks, "I don't know." The Turian says, This is Crystal Chen, one of Cerberus's right-hand women.
Well, we know where one of your counterparts is now.
Well, that's good to know, at least. That's 1 down, 3 to go.
Lower the gun and you lose the hand. And Darren actually looks really serious for once.
Roll a, I guess, intimidation, which you can use as you can use your strength attribute instead of whatever the regular attribute for
Knowledge.
Yeah, if you want to use that instead, you may.
Okay.
15.
Not bad.
Almost wild
The
die.
Turian hesitatingly lowers his rifle.
So you have a problem. So you have a problem with my friend. What is it?
He says to you, she's with Cerberus, probably getting down here as a spy. Dr. Solis, you need to be more careful with the people that you bring to the base. She can easily report back and reveal our spot and tell us, and everything will be everything here will be for naught.
Who? Okay, 2 questions then. Who sends the right-hand woman to be a spy for one? Second is, if you're a spy, why wouldn't you wear a disguise? You don't just turn up dressed normally.
How convenient that once you find out about clone Crystal Chen, there are 2 Yis now on the call. Crystal, it's your alter ego. There she is now. Dun dun dun.
And actually, the frozen one's completely straight-faced, so it works pretty well.
Sorry, what was the last thing that Darren said? I forgot what you said.
He asked, "What's your problem with my friend?" And then you responded, didn't you? So no. So the last thing I said was, "You don't send your right-hand woman to be a spy, and if you're going to wear a disguise."
Before the Turian responds, a voice calls out and says, "Stand down." A man approaches, very good-looking young man, and he looks towards the group's direction, and you hear him say, "Darren, is that you?"